We have the dome over there, Rotonde, Select, and Couple is just right around the corner. And right here, we have, of course, the man that needs no introduction, Balzac. And this statue, we did this a long time ago. We did this over a year ago. It was actually the last one we did right before I got very sick. But Balzac, this statue was done by Rodin, and he was commissioned by the Literary Guild of Paris to do a statue of Balzac. And when he did, if you have been to the Rodin Museum, he did a statue of him. He was standing completely naked, kind of with his right foot leg out, which you could kind of tell. Oh, good. Let Ellen know. Get on here. Thanks, Chrissy. You could kind of tell by the way his legs are here. He was standing here naked. And when oh, there's Ellen. Hi, Ellen. I'm taking you someplace. Don't tell anybody yet. You'll know. But when he presented the statue, they were appalled because Balzac was this, huge literary figure in French history. And Rodin's version of him was to stand there with his leg out, completely naked. And as you could tell by Balzac, I hate to say it, but he wasn't super attractive. I mean, and this statue doesn't really, really help him out. But when they showed this, when he basically said, this is the model, this is what I'm going to do, the Literary Guild was outraged. And there was like, you can't show Balzac standing out here completely naked. He's this great French writer. And so Rodin was kind of pissed off. And he basically took this cloak. He literally dipped it in the plaster and pulled it out and literally just threw it over the statue and was like, here you go. And so the commission was revoked. He had to give the money back. But then later, after Rodin died, of course, they were like, oh, hey, yeah, now we love it. So there is this statue here. Of course, there's quite a few versions of this at the Rodin Museum. And you have them right here. If you guys, if you are on, make sure you guys are muted just in case there's some strange backfeed. But so here we are, and it is an absolutely beautiful day in Paris. Just so you know, up here at Montparnasse, there is a lot of really great restaurants behind me. But if you like, no problem, Heather. If you like steak tartare, this is the place for you. The Charivari. They have one of the best steak tartares you will have in Paris. It is delicious. They will give you options to have it chopped or minced. They'll ask you what, accoutrements you want with it. It is absolutely delicious. Of course, we have the Rotonde, which if you are like me and find the French president rather handsome, this is a place to come. He is here at least a couple times a week. So I will now be up here every day looking for him. This is where he came 5 years ago when he won the presidency, after he went to his big party at the pyramid of the Louvre. So if you're just joining and you thought we were going to visit all the churches, tiny change of plans. So I was going to go down to the Madeleine and do some of the churches over there because it's Easter. But I have been in Montparnasse all day, and I was with some friends at La Salette all afternoon, which was lovely. There was a confusion with our oyster order. My friend ordered a dozen and she only wanted to eat one of them, and jokingly said that she'd have 12 and we each have 6. So 24 oysters came out. We got her to eat 4, but my friend Michael and I then have to eat quite a few others. So we are on Boulevard Montparnasse, And we are heading up here somewhere that's, I wish you could, we had smell-o-vision. It is been beautiful this week. If you watched the video Friday I did from Notre Dame, it's been about as perfect as you could get. It's in like 70, 71 degrees. Oh, look at that La Creole. I just missed that. Let me let a couple more people in. All right. Up here at Montparnasse, this is one of the neighborhoods, like, if they used to always say everything in France and Paris closes on Sunday. Definitely the smaller villages, everything really does close, but you could find more and more that's open on Sundays. But when you get to, like, when you're in, like, the Marais and Saint-Germain, those areas, you could always find things open on Sundays. But as soon as you get, like, we're just at the top of the Luxembourg, and a lot of these, obviously, some of these businesses are going to be not open on a Sunday, but up here, the bakeries will be closed, and it's Easter. But it is kind of funny because I was just saying to my friends that, in the States on Easter Sunday, like, businesses like Target and all those kind of stores are closed on a Sunday. But in here, like, museums are still open. Look at that door. There are some really great doors on this street. Look at that. A lot of those businesses up here in France are still open today. Like, the museums will everything is closed May 1st, but all of these things, none of those things are closed on Easter, which is kind of interesting. Here, okay, I walked by this today. Look at how, this is really creepy. Do you guys need to get some contact lenses, colored contact lenses? If you do, let me know. I'll let you know the address. Do you need a Johnny Holiday mask or Sarkozy? Hey, wait, here says two brothers that died like weeks apart. Their faces always kind of freak me out. Too much plastic surgery. But I walked down the street earlier. Look at that door. We, on the other side, is Notre Dame des Champs, which is where Hemingway lived, which we have done over a year ago on the walk. But I thought we'd go up this direction. And the place we're going, it smells heavenly. And then this is going to be a little bit of a choose your own adventure, but we are going to be at the what they call it, the bottom, because we're south of these Jardins de Luxembourg. But I think I'm going to take you over to the outside of a very, very beautiful church. We can't go in, but it is a beauty that is open once a year on my favorite weekend. It's early where you guys are. Do you guys go to church? Did you already have your Easter? I did hear very early this morning, check my Instagram stories. I did some videos of the bells at 6:30 this morning. I think Saint-Sulpice and Saint-Germain-des-Prés. All the bells were going for about 2 minutes this morning because all the bells returned from Rome. That's the French Easter. All the bells from the churches leave on Good Friday. They travel to Rome and they return back on Easter Sunday. And from the bells drop chocolatey goodies. I have yet to find those raining from the sky. Look at this cute little garden. Do you think the dogs know not to? Dogs know not to go there? I don't think they can read signs. My grandma tried that once. She got mad that dogs kept relieving themselves in her front area. So she put a sign. And I was like, I don't think the dogs could read. Okay, we're getting close. Can you guys see it? And we'll see how busy it is. And I'll try to go in a little bit. You guys been here before? Now it's quite expensive, but it is fun to go in for a drink. It's a great door. This is, so where we are, I would say we're kind of at the top of Boulevard Montparnasse. And this whole area right here, like you see over there, it says Bouillet. So this whole area up here in the 20s, this was the big place for the expats. And during that time, there was like tons and tons of dance halls. Like this was the place if you wanted to be partying late into the night, this was it. And so the Bouillet, it was actually much bigger. This, as you could tell, these are much more modern buildings, but they were over here. And the owner decided he needed a place to make a little bit more money. And so he opened this, La Causerie de Lila. And first, we have the wisteria. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, I wish you guys could smell it. So this was where he could make more money on food and beverage. If I get really close, can you smell? And so he opened this location. Oh, there's a lot of people in there. Okay, we're gonna try to be really subtle. Oh, lots of people. Oh, but look. So here we are. Look at all those lilacs over here. I came here this morning when nobody was here. So Causerie de Lila, and it got the name because this whole entire area in front of it was filled with lilac trees. So the story is that Hemingway would come here. He lived, oh my gosh, you guys, oh, this was so good. He lived right around the corner on Rue d'Anjou, and he would come up here. And of course, all the places that he would come when at his time, these places were dirt cheap. Like now, this is a very expensive, very fancy place. But at that time, very cheap. If you go in there to the bar, there is a plaque on the bar, a brass plaque that says his name, but he didn't sit there. He'd actually sit outside. He'd sit out here and he'd write. And because they lived just right around the corner down the street. And in front of it, and even in Moulfils, he wrote about the Marcel statue. And here he is. He was a great leader. Go up here, so that little girl runs me over. He was a great leader under Napoleon and Napoleon's army when he was just a general. And he obviously, look at all those battles he was in. But later, again, just like, look at the Battle of Waterloo. We know how that ended up. But later on, he ended up getting arrested and he was put on trial. And then he basically was, oh, pardon, he was sentenced to death. And as they were taking him to the jail, they decided to stop right here in this spot. Pardon. As they decided to stop here in the spot, they decided to basically execute him right here. So it is a little bit creepy that they installed and thought this was a great place to put this monument to him, where they decided to kill him. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. You could leave me tips at PayPal or Venmo, and it's Claudine at ClaudineHemingway.com. Thank you so much. And here you see the statue is done by Francois Rude, who did a lot of these really great statues. At the time, it was 1853. But he's up here, and in Moule Feast, and also The Sun Also Rises, he mentions the statue because he mentions Causerie des Lilas in both books. But it is pretty cool. And we are just down the street from the observatoire at the top. And it is much busier than it was about 6 hours ago when I was up here. It is beautiful. Right this morning it was sunny, but it was a little windy. And I'm just wearing a kind of one of the shirt dresses. And I was sitting in the Luxembourg for a while and I was very chilly. I was like, I got to keep moving because I was so cold. So we're going to go to the top here and then head over. To see, you have these like, I just like, I don't love these more modern looking. I want all of those kind of buildings and those kind of buildings. I don't want those buildings. We're going over here. I was just telling my friends about the statue, about the fountain, the monument, and the horses. Heather, I know that you are a big, but look at these horses when we get close. Because one of these days, these horses are breaking free and they're going to go out there and they're going to trample the you know what out of these turtles. Just wait. If you haven't seen this, you won't unsee it. Look at these poor horses. They're getting like pelted. And they're like, well, they're like mermaid horses. Oh, look at that. And this is that is the fountain of the four continents, and it's done by Carpeau. And you can see up there around the ring of the globe, there are the different zodiac signs. Yay, Taurus, I see it. And then you have these poor horses, look at them. They are just not happy. These turtles spitting at them. And Carpeau, he did the top of this. And if you've been in the Orsay, you have seen the design for this. There is a large version of this at the basically at the end of the central nave of the Orsay. And Carpeau was supposed to design the entire thing, but he died before it was finished. But look at those cute little turtles. Look at it. I mean, look at the color. I mean, this is one of those things that there's no filter. Like, look at the color of the leaves and the sunshine and the water and the patina. Look at that horse. That horse one of these days is going to be, he's not having it anymore. I always feel bad for him. But you can see up there, so up there with the 4 continents, there's the one of the Americas, and then there's the one for Africa, and she's kind of the one that's a little farther. And Africa has a chain around her ankle, and then the one for America is stepping on the chain while the handcuffs or the foot cuffs are basically broken. The one for America is stepping on it, and this is not the first depiction of this you will find here, and it's pretty horrible that was, you know, this 19th century version. But isn't it beautiful? And so this is considered what they consider the lower Luxembourg, even though you kind of would think it's the, you know, the higher version, but because this is south, it is the lower. There are 4 different down the center. This is kind of this very skinny part of the park. It is not, we consider it because it kind of is an extension of the Luxembourg. And you can see the Palais down there. These statues, there's 4 statues that go all the way down, are the times of the day. So you have dawn, you have midday, you have dusk, and you have the night. Goes all the way down. And obviously you can see that this is part of the park that people could actually walk on, which a lot of the Luxembourg, you can't pass this. You have the observatory way up there. And we're not really like where obviously Montparnasse, because, you know, Montparnasse right there at the very top, you know, this is considered Saint-Germain, and then it goes right up there to Montparnasse. So it's really not that far. When Hemingway lived here and they lived on Notre Dame des Champs, when they first moved here and they moved to Cardinal Lemoine, which is behind, you know, the Pantheon, they were told, oh, you should live in Montparnasse because that's where everybody was living. And he was like, yeah, I don't want to live up there where everybody's living. So they lived farther away. And where they lived, I mean, literally it was a 5-minute walk to the Dome and Select and all of those places that they were hanging out. The Dingo Bar is where he and Fitzgerald met. It's now the Venice, Monde de Venice, I believe is what it's called. And they have, when I was walking by this morning, they have a brass plaque on the wall that says something about Hemingway. Has a plaque for Picasso and Modigliani, because Modigliani lived in a couple different places just right there on the street. Do you guys know where we're going? Look at that. I know there's somebody that would love to go see this, and I doubt they're watching, but I will take you as close as we could get. Sadly, you can't go inside, but if you know that is in front of us, that is the stunning Val de Grace Church. And this morning I popped into Saint-Sulpice quickly. It was in between Mass. We could, if you want, we could head down there. I think Mass is starting at 6 o'clock. Oh, big game tonight. Our big match. Are you going to watch, Chrissy? Holy moly. That bus literally just hit this branch. And I am not on the edge. Big match. Le Classique. Paris Saint-Germain versus the enemy. So we'll see how that goes. How come the other day I also felt like we stood at the longest crosswalk ever? So we're heading down here. This is the Boulevard Saint-Michel. If you're following along. Okay, I love baby foot. This area is like so close to Saint-Germain. And today it was so lovely just sitting at Montparnasse. I need to do that more often. But straight ahead is Val de Grace. A couple wine stores here. We can head down from here. Oh, I might have to go check that out. So I'm not sure, I mentioned this on Friday if you watched, I'm not sure if I could do a walk next Sunday because I have a 7-day tour and then I have tours all day next Sunday. And then I have clients at night for dinner. So I might not have time to do a walk, but we might just have to do it a different day. So I will let you know in the next day or two. I will put it on my website. You can always find whatever walk we're doing on my website under events. Look at this great door with the sunflowers. At ClaudineHemingway.com. I will see you but next week, Angela. Look at this great door. I'm choosing to walk down the street. Église Val de Grace. Straight ahead. So this church was built by Anne of Austria. And she, of course, it took her just about 20 years to get pregnant. Oh, let's go check out this cute little place over here around the corner. And so she was very religious. And so she thought the fastest way for her to get pregnant was to keep dedicating and building churches to God because he would bestow a baby on her. Look at this cute little place. Who wants to live there? And so the Val de Grace is kind of the main one. And she had this built, and she was kind of against Cardinal Richelieu, who was very, very powerful with Louis XIII. And there's a message for you. Does anybody, I don't even understand that. I mean, I understand what it says. I don't understand the NFTs. So she was building all these churches. And she got really, really devout into Val de Grace. But then she got pregnant. So who are we to argue? Look at that. Look at this is on the back side of that cute little place. Oh. You know what this reminds me of? In a movie I love, Notting Hill. When at the end of the movie, when he says, "Oops a daisy," look at that. Look at how cute that is. Okay. Oh, it's not broken at the top. I had to screenshot it. Oh my gosh, look at it. So cute. And over here, I've come down the street before. Look at this one. And you know who lived here? All of you Art Nouveau fans. Musha lived and had his studio here. Right back in there. Look at how beautiful that is. I can't, it kind of is all blurry. It doesn't know what to focus on. But this is where Musha lived. Muka. And there is a really cool plaque here. I remember the first time I saw this, I was like, what? Here. And he did those really, really beautiful lithographs. He ended up doing one night. He was at the office, and Sarah Bernhardt called to say that she needed something done quickly for a stage play she was doing, and it was on Christmas night. And he was at the office, and so he ended up doing it. And she loved it so much that he kind of became the personal lithograph and designer for Sarah Bernhardt. And when these pictures that he had created, these lithographs, were hanging around Paris, could you just imagine? People were stealing them off the wall as fast as they could get them. And so this lovely little area here is about the goth. And so now you have this really beautiful, okay, I'll sit down up here. Two different benches. Look at this. How how idyllic is this? Well, maybe actually sit back here. There's your boulangerie. And now it is actually a hospital. There's a medical hospital over there. And there is, so when you come in here, of course, here is the church, the Val de Grace at Anne of Austria. This was where they would actually put a bunch of, like, the heart of Anne of Austria was here. A lot of the hearts of the kings and royalty were placed here. And then during the revolution, of course, as we know, all of these churches were kind of ransacked, and they took all of these out of here, and the hearts were then sold off to somebody that had a paint shop. And there is a color, and you can look up information about this on the internet, and it was a color called Mummy Brown. And Mummy Brown was literally made from mummies and from people that had died. It was a very specific brown, and it goes back quite a long ways, and it was a very sought after color. And when the revolution, so this paint seller got it, and he made up the paint. There is a painting in the Louvre by Montparnasse, and it is in the Sully wing, and I just was there the other day, and I'll share a photo of that. And it is a very, like, there's nothing especially amazing about this. There's nothing that says anything about it on the plaque, but it does, it was made with the Mummy Brown, and thought to be the Mummy Brown, and included from the heart of Anne of Austria, taken from here about the Cross Church. And this is, you can see up there above the gate, you see the L with the A. That is the emblem of Anne of Austria and Louis XIII. And as soon as she had this built, she ended up getting pregnant. So on this side over here is it's basically kind of a museum. And so you have this right now, there's a special exhibit. So if you do see, if this is like, you know, some of the stuff in here could actually be kind of gruesome. But if you just want to be able to get in the door and see a little bit of it, like, just go, even if, like, maybe you don't want to see some gross photography of some medical things, you could go in here and give it a little peek around. So you go in there, and that side here to the right where I'm showing you, that goes back to towards the hospital. It's all basically on this side of it right here is basically all very historic. You see in the center where kind of that little tiny the cupola is there with the dome, that is part of the church. There's a very, very tiny chapel back there that was the chapel of Anne of Austria. It's really, really cool. It has this beautiful tile work on the ground. I will see, I don't know if I have any of those photos with me, but I will post some to share with you. They are very, it's beautiful here. This is one of those things that's open. The church itself is open only on very special occasions, including Patron weekend. It is definitely something you do not want to miss. It is really, really stunning and beautiful inside. It doesn't really operate as a church. You can't go in there on Sundays or anything like that. But I love this like little area. And I had somebody one day a few years ago when I was here and posted some photos. She said she lived in one of these buildings. Could you imagine? Could you just imagine living and looking at this every day? Nope. But Richelieu tried to get Louis the 13th to ban Anne of Austria from coming here because she was almost aligning herself too much to the church and was working against Louis, but they couldn't keep her away. Now she actually wanted to have all of the family to be buried here, but that did not work out. And of course, as we know, most of them ended up going to Saint-Denis. But let's go over here and peek through the, that's great. This is a sign. So if you are just joining us and you're trying to get the image, make sure that you just find me and pin it onto your screen. I see some people that keep logging in and out. So maybe if you're having issues, I think I'd choose this side. I mean, I'm not going to turn that side down, but look at those balconies. Oh, too good. Too good. But if you go down here, down the street, take a left, it's a little bit more modern of a, oh my gosh, I feel for her. I feel like that's me sometimes. It is a little bit more of a modern hospital on the other side. Modern is in the tune of like, 50s, 60s. I know, you look, I mean, don't you feel for her, Chrissy? She's just like, ugh. Like, I just am like over this, and she's just trying to get things down. She's probably sweaty. She just feels horrible about the goss. These, as you know, I love these. These always have amazing info. Look at that guy. I'll have to come up here. Oh, until 30th. I don't know if I'll be able to get up here. But look at this. I need to see the emblem. Sorry, to see the emblem on the door. So cool. Get in here. It's really, I can't tell you enough that if you love the history of France and the history of Paris, you really have to be here that third week in September. And as I said, I think last week, I should definitely, maybe I should put something together. Oh, some little one. Plus there. And let's see. There are some times, oh here, musical, we do events here. So the next one is Sunday, the 1st of May. It's really like, it's so beautiful inside. It's really, really cool. It kind of feels like, I don't know, this little piece right up here, you almost feel like you're not in Paris. It almost feels like you're at Versailles, just, in the town. Like, it doesn't feel like 2 blocks away where you're at the Luxembourg. It's really cool though. But that was kind of her pinnacle. That was kind of her piece de resistance. Oh, and we even have sometimes you can still find these around the city. here. Oh, what is this? I haven't walked down the street, guys. I like exploring things brand new with you. Look at that door. It's just a random giraffe on the. Oh, look at this. Some Venus. Oh, guys, look what we found. Okay, gotta screenshot it. Ah, you know how much I love to find. Oh my gosh, how is this not the cutest little thing? Oh, Corpy. I've never come down this street. Chrissy, you have to, and I will help you, and I could put together a little list of the things. Some things now they make you have reservations, which is kind of nice. Years ago, oh look at this, guys! Oh, this is amazing. Okay, wait, here I am. Oh, look at this! Oh, look at that! Oh my god! Look at all of that wisteria. Oh my god, this is so. Look at you could really see the detail up there, and on this side. Can you see the fleur de lis way up there? And then her emblem. This is so cool. Oh, it's just, I just have like a little, just set up a chair and have some rosé. Oh, it smells so good back here. I hope we don't get in trouble. Look at this. Ah, so yeah, it's a really, really beautiful church. It wasn't opened. I mean, it hasn't been open as a church for a very, very long time. Look at that. I know. Okay, let's all find out how much it would cost to buy these buildings and we could all move in. Look at that. How perfect is this? And this is, I love this about Paris because we're only like 3 blocks away from a very busy, noisy street that I almost got run over by a bus. And you just come up here and it's like so quiet. This has to be part of the. Get my. Oh my gosh, look at it's so adorable. What's this business? Look at with the ivy and the wisteria, and you're right next to the Val de Grace. Oh, let's see what's up here on this. We have a very interesting looking Virgin and Child. So this is Catholic Saint Christophe. Don't mind us, it's peering in the window. Oh, one more time. at that. Oh, like the sky and the leaves and the ivy. This is definitely a place I'm going to come back to in the fall because I bet when the leaves are changing and that ivy turns red, it's going to be amazing. Look at this. Oh, I'm so glad we discovered this together. Well, some people are coming to ruin it, ruin our time alone. Hey, look, it's under here. Oh, that's not romantic. Beautiful. Look at it, so cute. I'll see what the name is. I want that to be my little courtyard. But I do like the little random giraffe. And I do love that there is a Jean-Charles Ducasse by Jacques Angel. I love that he, oh, another one. I love it. I will send him a message that we found some more. Okay, maybe I would be okay with this building here. Because you can look down here. So I don't think there's really a name on this. This is the Rue Saint. Oh, no, it says Paris above the door. No. It says Paris American Academy, but that's not what was back there. It was about the Catholic. Another great door. Oh, here's the Paris American Academy. I'm not sure what that is because there's the American University of Paris that I do work with, but I don't know the Paris American Academy. The dramatic arts. Oh, look at, I'm not sure what that is. Rue Saint Jacques, we're like way up there. Is it warmer everybody is today? Is it nice and sunny? I know that Portland got super cold weather yet again, which I'm very happy that we didn't get that again. Sunny but cold. I guess that's better than sunny and raining, right? At least that's what I try to think of. We will keep heading this direction. I said today, I have been finding everything that I have been seeing lately. I went yesterday morning. If you saw my stories, I went to the Orsay to see the top floor of the installation, the Yves Saint Laurent, which are at 6 different museums across the city, because it was in the for his 60th anniversary of his first show, and they are in place right now until middle of May. And so I'm trying to see all of them, but real quickly, here's another. I love these. They are in place until middle of May. And the one at the Orsay was really, really, really cool. And he was really influenced a lot by art, artists, and he depicted a lot of like Picasso, and he was at the Louvre a lot. My friend said he used to see him in the Louvre all the time, and he saw him there about 2 weeks before he died. He had a brain tumor and brain cancer, and they decided not to tell him that he only had a few weeks to live because they didn't think he would be able to deal with that. So they just didn't tell him. And but he was in the Louvre like 2 weeks before he died. So we are in 2 weeks is the second round of elections that are just down to Macron and Le Pen. And so they do a really cool thing here where you could only put posters in these designated spots. And then when it gets down to the last two, they take all the other ones away. And it's really funny to see how people are completely defacing and writing all over. And it's interesting to see what they put. But that's next Sunday. The chestnut trees are starting to bloom. We are technically in the 5th right now. I have not been up here, guys. I have been up to the next street, but look. This is the Chansac de Opa. Let's see if I can go in without getting in trouble. Ooh, heavy door. Hard to tell which door. Oh, look, we could have gone in that door. It's very bright. And today, of course, is Easter. So it's very quiet in here. These are very small. Look. Jean de La Fontaine. Port Royal. So this is the Port Royal area. And there's the other, there is the other hospital up here. Look at that. It's really, really nice and cool in here. You rarely see an organ just right down here. Usually they're up so high. Oh, look at this one. Reliquary of Look at that, so beautiful. I'm really fascinated by these reliquaries. I think they're so cool. So if you watch my one that I did in Notre Dame the other day at the anniversary, and it was on Good Friday, I had gone into anybody in here. I've never been in this church. Sorry, guys. I don't have a lot of, but now I will. Now I will look everything up about it and share it with you guys. I'll have to walk back up here and do some investigation and some research. The Last Supper. Some churches are very good about, they'll put something on every chapel saying who it is and like describing each of the chapels and the art inside of it. Some just don't. Very small church. That's pretty beautiful. It's very different. Pieta, as usual. Usually she's holding him. I've always loved those. I love them because they look like the rose windows. Oh, Louis Pasteur. Baptismal. Bronze. Louis Pasteur, anniversary of the death or the birth. Oh, there's another organ up there. Inventor. This is such a cute little church. I especially love it when the floors are really creaky. I'm gonna have to come back up here. There's another one. Funny this is at the Rue Saint-Jacques, and it's so quiet up here. And up here, there's this little observatory that's dedicated to the Prince of Monaco. There's a really great little restaurant right across the street. Oh, I just realized it's like, I just realized we've been doing this for an hour, a little over an hour. So I will walk you up here and then, because I'm sure you guys have many things to do today on the holiday. Are you going to church? Are you seeing family? Having dinner or lunch with family? What are you guys doing today? Tomorrow is a holiday here. It's Easter Monday. eating Easter candy. My friend today brought me the cutest. Hang on, let me show you. Hopefully it's not all melted. Look at this. The cutest little Easter hen. It's so cute. And there was oh wait, there's something inside it. There is they had a poll on the French news the other day asking, I don't know what the heck that is, asking what's the most popular shape of Easter candy, and the hen won. That little Easter hen or chicken. So just to give you an idea where you are, if you go straight down the street, we will go to the top of Rue de Medici. And over here, this building here is, which we'll walk over to. This is the Institute of Oceanography. And it is up there. You can see that it is dedicated to the Prince, was dedicated by the Prince of Monaco. And there's a pretty good restaurant right across the street. If you go up that way, you would go towards the Bolin, which is a really cool place to go and visit. That is where they do the tapestries. And you can go when they have special exhibits into there. If you go during Patrimon weekend, you go in there and see them actually how they restore all that stuff, which is really fascinating. I do love all of these. The artist C215, these are all different members that are in the Pantheon. He did this years and years ago, so not all of them remain in the area, but there was one, and still is, of Victor Hugo, and somebody put their a flyer over it. The Mary Curie campus. Somebody put a flyer over it and Victor Hugo's face, and people were livid, and it was on the news. People were not happy. That's the restaurant. Italian restaurant. And just over here, look at that great building. The Rue Pierre et Marie Curie. So cute. So we are technically in the fifth. And we are, if you went back that direction, I'll walk you up here. We'll end it at the end, which is at the Pantheon. We'll look up at the Pantheon. The time went so fast. So next week, I'm not sure. As I said, I will update by Tuesday. I'll put it in my newsletter if we're doing a walk on Sunday. I don't think, because I have an all-day tour that goes into another tour in the evening, so I don't think I'm going to have time to do a video in between, but we might just do it a different day. There's Marcel Proust. So I was saying earlier, I think I got distracted by that church. Look at that. Evelyn, I bet Peter would want some of these, even though I'm kind of a La Prosecco myself. Look at this stuff. Look at that. Beautiful. I started reading some Marcel Proust today because I kept seeing it. It was like literally he's been mentioned in all of these exhibits I've been seeing by Yves Saint Laurent. All of these exhibits lately, Boldini. So I downloaded the book and started reading it today, sitting in the sunshine with that, the Patisserie de Pantheon. Poke was a big thing here like 2 years ago. It doesn't seem, there's still a few out there, but it doesn't seem to be as big. We are almost, can you guys see? We are very close down the street from where that gal that should not be named on Netflix, where she supposedly lived. I know a lot of people love that show, but another pokey. And straight ahead is the Rue Soufflot. And to the right, we have up here, we will have the Pantheon. Look at Agatha Christie. So one of my friends I was with today is an opera singer. Look, this was the gate of Saint-Jacques, the 13th of April. It's practically the 13th, almost, well, 17th. Maybe instead we'll do a special walk next Tuesday instead of Sunday, because I will not be working next Tuesday. That'll be my first day off, and it's my birthday. So maybe we'll have to do a walk. I know it's weekdays, so hopefully I'll let you know, but it'd be fun. I guess spend my birthday with you, sharing my favorite thing. So do you see over here? There's the Pantheon. Can you see over there? That's where Victor is. And that is what somebody put a poster over, and they were not having it. But look at, that's the beautiful Pantheon. There are so many people here, as we said last week, but when I went to Notre Dame, it was crazy. Or not Notre Dame, but also outside the Louvre. There's so many people out there right now. And this is Rue Soufflot, which is named after the architect of the Pantheon. This week, there's been students occupying the Sorbonne. You have Saint Etienne du Mont up there. This is one of my favorite little bank machines, ATMs to come to. I've always had really good luck with this bank, BNP. I've had other ATMs that my US cards won't work in, but this one, they always work. So I usually always try to find these ones. As a little tip, this is a great little cafe. I've only ever come here for coffee, but it's always filled with students. And so I sit there and, bring my laptop and pretend that I'm 20 years old. It's not fooling anybody. But here we have the beautiful, beautiful Pantheon, Saint Etienne du Mont. If you look down here, is the Jardin de Luxembourg. And we have the Sorbonne. And it is another beautiful day in Paris. And I will come on here and say bonjour and au revoir. And thank you guys all so much for joining. And my hair. But I will try to do, thank you so much, Ellen. I will try, maybe we'll do a video on the 26th with it, just my birthday. It's a Tuesday. I usually always like to spend my birthday with my fellow April 26ers, which includes Marie de Medici, Delacroix, I am Pei. So maybe we will do a little special walk and visit all of them. And oh, your father's April 25th, so close. That means they're a Taurus, though. That's the best. So, I know, isn't that funny that Delacroix and I share the same birthday? And I didn't know that when I fell in love with him. And then I realized later. And then when I was looking up all this information about Marie de Medici, which I was like always just enthralled in. And then I noticed that she also had that birthday. And then Jean Le Bon, he has that birthday. There's like 6 French big people in French history that have that day. The consecration of Saint-Chapelle and Saint-Eustache is also on that date. I can't remember what else. I always share it every single year. I share a little bit about each. So thank you guys so much for joining me. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Easter. If you want to send a little tip, you could do it at Venmo or PayPal at ClaudineHemingway.com. I also have a thing on my Instagram. If you go to my bio, there's a thing, the Koji, that says you could buy a coffee or buy a glass of champagne if you want to do that. And always appreciated. And I just appreciate the fact that you guys all joined me today. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Might not be Sunday, might be, I think, Tuesday. Let's do Tuesday. And hopefully it's going to be a beautiful sunny day. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week and a wonderful Easter. Happy, happy Easter. Enjoy all the chocolates. I'm still waiting for the chocolates to fall from the sky. I don't think it's going to happen. But thank you guys so, so much. And I will see you next week.